Very basic chair today, and the intention of this video is to tell you how to add textures or shadings or materials to your furniture. So I'm going to be very quick, and I might not really make the whole chair, but you'll get the idea about some techniques that might be helpful to you while this project is going on. So I'll first of all get rid of this default cube, and I would like to start with a plane. So this plane is going to serve as the seat of the chair, and I'll just scale it a little bit so that we get the right size. Then I would like to go to the edit mode. Okay, and then you're already aware about these options, like this selects the vertex, this is the edge select mode, and this is the face select mode. So you can actually select different areas of object using these options. So first of all, I would like to select the edge, which is this edge. Okay, and then I would like to extend it or extrude it. So I would press E and Z, one after the other, of course not holding it, but just press and release. So E and then Z, so that I can actually just get the back support for the chair. Okay, if you want it to be a little bit like at an angle, you can also just grab it, like just press G. Okay, while this is selected, just press G and go a little bit down, like on the other side, so that you get this little angle if you want. Okay, so this being done, I'm going to now create some loop cuts in the chair to give it like a curvy shape. So I'll go here and I will start adding some loop cuts in the horizontal direction first. So just horizontal cuts first. Here, here. Actually on the top, I would like to add a few more because and also at the very end, I'll show you why. Okay, so once this is done, what I want to do is I want to go to the vertex select mode, and first of all, just over here I want to select this vertex. So this is selected, this dot. Okay, and then while I'm holding down the shift key, I will also select the other end of this one. So this vertex is selected, and then I will press G for grabbing it, and I'll move it like a little bit upwards to give it like a sort of a curvy shape. Okay, you can always adjust this by pressing G if you feel like this is not gone in the right direction. Like if you can see here, it hasn't really gone well. So I'll just select this and press G and give it the right shape. Okay, so just make sure that you are doing it accurately for this vertex. So this, and then while I'm holding down the shift, I'll also select this one and I'll press G so that I can give it a little bit of a curvy shape in the downwards direction. And if it's also not perfect, you can always just adjust it. Okay, and something similar I want to do for the back support as well. So I want to see it from here, and I want to select this vertex, and then while pressing down the shift key, I want to select this and then press it G so that that can also just sort of go down. But if it's not accurate, always just feel free to adjust the angles. Okay, so this is how it looks like for now. Not accurate, but you can, when you're doing it and you're redoing it, I'm pretty sure you can do it more accurately. Like from here, it doesn't really look great. So I might just press G again and give it like a straight shape. And also, I mean, the object may look very different from all the angles, so you can just make sure that it's looking like a regular shape from all the different angles. Okay, and just go on the top and see if this is right. This doesn't look good, so I'm going to adjust it by pressing G and giving it the straight angle. Yeah, so I guess when you're satisfied with it, then just go ahead and again press the loop cuts, and this time just add more vertical cuts. Okay, add a few more, right? And then what you can do is you can actually give a little bit of a sort of chair like shape, especially on the seat. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to press the select option here. Okay, and I am going to use this edge select option. Okay, the first thing that I will do is just press this, so this edge is selected, then I'm holding down the shift key, and I'm also holding down the command key so that I click here and the whole thing is selected. Okay, then I have released the command key, but I'm still holding down the shift key, I click here, and then I again press the command key, and while I'm holding down the command, I'm clicking here. Okay, release the command key, but all this while you're selecting it, the shift key will be continuously pressed. Okay, so I'm holding down the shift key, and I'm just pressing here, and then I'm going to press command key and press here, and then I release the command. Okay, so I'm going to do this and select all of these edges, and I'll show you why I'm doing this. And that is the last one, and then command and here. So all of these are selected, and I'm going to very carefully press G for grabbing all of these, and Z for the Z axis. So G, release it, Z, release it, and then just very carefully move the mouse a little bit down so that you give it a sort of a chair kind of a shape. Okay, yeah, you can also, if you're not really satisfied with how this has come out to be and you would like to make it even more smoother, what you can do, you can select this whole chair like that. Okay, and press Ctrl B for beveling these. Okay, like give it a little bit of a bevel like that. Okay, so that it will be easier for you to make it more smoother, right? Then let's go back to the object mode, and here I will try and add some modifiers. I'll try and add subdivision surface modifier and add some more surfaces so that it becomes more shiny and smooth, like you can see. And then from here I'm going to apply this modifier. Okay, but right now, as you can see, it just looks like a paper chair, so we have to add some thickness to it. So I'm also going to add one more modifier, which is called the solidify modifier, and go ahead and add some thickness to it. Okay, and you'll see that the chair will look a little bit more thicker. You can just see what your client has told you about the curvy surface, about the thickness of the chair and other things, and you can just do it accordingly. Okay, now you can see while I was in the edit mode, I was doing some changes, and this portion hasn't come out very nicely. So when you are doing it, just make sure that it's accurate. Like mine is not really looking very nice from here. I should have been more careful with the grabbing and moving it, but yeah, while you do it better. Okay, so then you just go apply the modifier. Okay, you can also just right click and shade this as smooth to give it a more smooth look, and you'll get a chair kind of a shape. Okay, now what else we can do, we can actually add some support so over here, and we can also add the legs of the chair. So what I'm going to do for the support part, I'm going to press I'm going to add the cube. Okay, and then what I'm gonna do, I will just S and Z so that it becomes a little bit thinner. I don't want it to be super thick. G and Z to move it down. Okay, and of course I want it to be on the side, and it's too thick actually, so S and Y to make it thinner, right? And then G and Y to move it to the other side. Okay, so wherever you want to place the support, like a wooden support, you can place it. Okay, zoom it in and see if this is at the right place or not. Okay, now it's definitely not really touching the surface pretty well. Okay, and I don't even want to add it here. I actually want to add it somewhere here near the leg of the chair. So I'm going to also press G and Y, I think. Yeah, over here somewhere, right? Okay, and then what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to the edit mode. Okay, and I will again use the loop cuts, and this time I'm going to add some vertical loop cuts on this plank of wood that I've added, which is going to act like a support. Okay, and what you can do, it's with this is something similar that you did with the chair. Okay, so while you select the edge select mode here, okay, then shift and select all of these. Okay, and then press G and Z and try to just attach this support to the chair. Like, don't leave any place which is sort of not touching the chair. You have to make sure that this touches. Okay, like over here you can see it's not really touching, but we want it to be of the size of the shape of the curve which is down below. So G and Z, and try and sort of make it the shape of the chair. Okay, so this is what you can do. Okay, and then even this one, shift, select all of these vertices. Okay, G and Z, grab them and just move them and make it touch the chair, and you'll see that this is like now. Yeah, and I think you should do the same over there as well, right? And maybe it's a little bit too thick, so I might just wanna S and what is it, Y? Yeah, make it a little bit more thinner, like a support. Okay, so this kind of a support could be added on all the four sides, here also, and in front. And then for the legs, it's pretty easy. You can just go and add a cylinder for the legs, make it really thin because it's going to act like a leg of the chair. Okay, and then S and Z to make it as long as you want the leg of the chair to be. Okay, and then to give it a proper like a leg shape, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to the edit mode, right? And over here I'm going to select the face select mode, and I'm only going to select the bottom face of the leg, and I'm going to only press S and very carefully move my mouse so that it is like this, only at the very bottom, but the top part still remains thicker, right? You go back to the object mode, and then you just G and Y so that it moves towards this side. Okay, place it where you want. So then G and X, because you want to place it somewhere here. Okay, and then G and Z to move it down. Okay, wherever you feel like this needs to be placed. If it's too long, you can always S and Z to make it smaller, and then G and Z to fit it where you want it to be. Okay, keep zooming in and keep seeing where it should be. And then to give it a little bit of a, I would say, angle, I will select it and I will say R and X because I want to rotate it around the X axis. So a little bit maybe that way to make it look like a chair leg. Yeah, so something like that. And if it needs more adjustments, you can always move G and X would no, G and Y, G and Y, yeah, to place it at the right place. Okay, you can always just see it from this angle, like top view, this is not looking right, so always just move it where you want it to be and make it as accurate as possible so that it is placed at the right angle and the right position. Okay, the same thing you'll have to do for the four sides. So you can add one more leg here, add more support if you want. This leg could be shifted here and the support could be longer. You have to see, you know, how you want this to be materialized, right? Now the last thing that I want to do is probably just add some kind of a texture on it. So what I can do over here, I can go to, so first of all what I've done is I went onto the internet and I just sort of looked for some wooden texture. So I downloaded these pictures, as you can see on my desktop. These are all like wooden texture images just downloaded off the internet. There are some websites also that you can get these materials from, but I would just say maybe a Google search would also serve the same purpose. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to go to the shading. Okay, no, wait, I should first select the surface on which I want to add the shading. So I've selected the chair, then I go to shading. Okay, and here I'm going to add new material. Okay, new material has white color right now, but I actually wanted to be the wooden one, right? So I am going to go here and look into my desktop because all the images were saved in the desktop. So on the desktop I scroll down and I see that I have the wooden thing selected. So maybe this one, I don't know. So I can just drag this image and put it here. Okay, but to really apply this particular wooden color to this material, what I'm gonna do, you have to take this yellow dot, press it, and then add this to the base color of the base color of the chair. So make these dots meet, and the moment you do this add color to the base color of the material, that material is gonna apply to it. Okay, I mean, this is not looking great because this is maybe not the right material for the chair. It's looking like vertical here, horizontal, but I'm pretty sure you've got the idea about what you need to do. Okay, and you can choose the right material. If you want to see how this material looks like, you can always click on this viewport shading mode on the top right, and you will see that this looks like this. You can add a different material to the legs and the back, the support as well if you want. Okay, but this is how you basically create like somewhat real looking furniture. All you have to be careful about is this part, which I kind of messed up. So you just be careful about not messing it up and making it look like very close to reality. Okay.